let's queer up gay culture.
Let's do it.
Sandra Bernhard's former manager accuses her of defrauding charities.
Oh my God.
Comic and actress Sandra Bernhard has been sued by her former long-term manager, who has accused her of cheating charities with phony invoices. James Slyman, who worked with the difficult star for nearly 11 years, alleges in a lawsuit filed in Kings County, New York, that she forced him into doing many unscrupulous, questionable, and embarrassing things as part of a hostile work environment. He alleges Bernhard, who claimed she and Madonna were lovers when they were both guests on Late Night with David Letterman, cheated venues out of their cut of merchandising sales at her live performances and sent phony invoices to bump up her interview fees. The press release issued by Slyman says that when asked to appear as a presenter or host at an LGBTQ+ or other charity event, whether or not she was already being paid as a fee, she would insist Slyman get them to also cover the costs of her hair and makeup people. For example, when they agreed, she would tell him to say it cost $1,000 when it was really only $200 to $300. He alleges that he would send the invoices and she would pocket the money. This, at times, actually became a small way she could supplement her income, essentially siphoning money from LGBTQ+ charity or cause-related organizations. Slyman claims to have the documentation and correspondence to corroborate his accusations. Okay, well, if this is true,
Wow.
It's very disappointing. It's really heartbreaking. But we should reserve judgment until we have all the facts.
Yeah.
But I will say that Slyman has not taken down pics of him and Sandy on his Facebook page yet.
Yeah.
So maybe he's leaving the door open. Maybe they'll have beach detente and he'll go back to work.
All I have to say is this. Once you come out and accuse me of not paying a bill, of cheating anyone, of being, I don't care, there is no repairing this relationship. So Slyman, I think you should just take those pics down and move on and like get your story straight. Because if you don't have receipts, honey, and then also look, man, this was like back in a time when how much did they pay people? You know what I mean? She probably had to cushion, not just it's her time. This is what it is. And there's like, oh, well, maybe they offered, the makeup people would cost $300, but maybe it took her 3 hours to get it done. I don't know. But I listen, that's fair market value. You know what I mean?
Weird to me. His, like many of you here, I've put on a lot of events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
I'm thinking, well, all those things he's complaining about, we pay for our artists.
Yeah,
Well,
they
it's
have to.
built
Like,
in.
why?
And it's built in.
Well, they ask for it, or they just show up at the airport with a whole bunch of makeup people and a whole bunch of, and it wasn't in the in the contract, but they're like, hey, how did you expect me to get on stage without makeup and hair? Like, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
So his complaints sound very strange and
I
personal, and I don't like it. It doesn't sound right to me.
It's not sitting right.
It doesn't sit right with me, and it doesn't even sound like she's. I mean, I know artists that have done a lot worse.
As a live entertainer, this is common ground.
It's common, right? I'm like,
And they get.
Right.
I
That's
used
a
to
normal
book
rider.
DJs. I used to book DJs, and they would ask for some of the DJs that did have some sort of makeup and.
Yeah, of course.
They would ask for it, and they would overprice it, and you could fight them and renegotiate, or be like, "I'll pay the barber personally. I'll get," and they would say, "Okay." But if you don't want to do that and you want me to take care of it, then it's this price.
That's right.
Because it's also the value of them having to do it and them having to get the people they want.
But
So
wait a second.
if you want to be if you're the charity hiring them or the manager, it's your responsibility to break those costs down and be like, oh, I don't trust you. Let me hire the hair person. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a big deal, and it sounds like quite petty.
Well, but let's be fair here. He says it's first of all, it's an accusation, so it's got to go through the system. So we have to be fair to both parties.
Yeah.
Second of all, he says he has proof. So show us the proof.
That's what we're waiting for.
But in the situation for me it's not so much all this hoopla, it's the fact that this is an honorable thing. If I hire you for a charity event, you're giving me a discounted price because we have to make money. We're about the aqua TransCon. We're about the Stonewall Library raising their $800,000 goal this year. So this is about honor, and this is about professionalism, and this is about
100%.
Your name and your reputation.
Yeah.
I don't care about the little details about pennies, but at the same point, for me, this is a big attack on a person's reputation.
Yeah,
so
right.
let's let it go out to the situation.
Yes.
If it proves to be the case, shame on you for not paying attention, Sandra, but how dare you attack the community and take advantage of it?
I really don't.
I don't think it's a situation.
It's going to be really interesting.
I don't think it's a situation, but it's one of those things where both of you.
If someone
But all
was
I also have
hiring
to say
you-
is-
I don't condone what you
Right.
invite
No,
to
no, no.
charity.
Listen, what I-
And
Of course
haven't
not.
done it
But
myself.
was it that
But
because if
I
I
do
have
see
to
that a
fly
lot,
across the
yeah.
country, right? I've
But
been,
you should disclose
I've been burned.
everything.
You've been on.
And you should
no,
ask
no, no,
for all your
no.
payments.
It's
I
not
do
even.
that,
It's not.
you know?
Of course we do, but it's not even that. I've had to travel to places.
Yeah.
They have promised things.
And
I
they
get
don't
there,
deliver.
it's not there, the person's not there, the quality isn't good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what?
Out of my
I ended up having to
Yeah,
spend an
you-
extra $500
Exactly.
trying to only charge
I
them
understand
two.
that.
So guess what? This time I'm gonna fly out there, but charge them $1,000. Hopefully we only need to use the two.
Right.
I
But just in
understand
case,
that.
that makes me a bad guy? I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is I understand that, but in this situation, the way that story reads
Yeah.
to me, this is about professionalism and about your reputation.
Maybe
so
don't
let
do it
go
with
out.
the charity gigs.
Right.
Do it with the,
With the regular
people
content.
Well,
gigs.
no, I'm not
Right,
saying that. I'm
right.
not saying that. I'm just saying,
yeah,
this
it's
is
not
just
good
an issue of we need to get, accusations being made. Let's find out the reality, and then we'll sit here and make.
Well, and I also have to say this: if
It's
Simon,
gossipy.
if once this is figured out and all things, all
The
the
dust
loose
settles?
ends and the dust settles, Simon better hope that he came with receipts, because if
Exactly.
he doesn't, I
He's
think
done.
I
Not
see
even
a
receipts.
libel
He's
and
done.
slander.
Yeah.
Like he's
Because
done. in the
He's
business.
done
ruined
anyway.
his reputation.
He's
Yeah.
done anyway.
Yes.
Who would hire him
No.
after this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No way. No way would I let him near me.
Yeah.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.